As a leader in your team or in your organization, are you setting a good example? That's what we're talking about today. It's Sarah. Welcome back to my leadership development video series where we talk about growth both personally and professionally and helping others grow as well. Today we are talking about setting a good example. And one of the best stories, or at least one of my favorite stories I have about setting a good example, actually is Gandhi. And there's a story of a woman who brings her son to him because she's been after her son for years. He's been eating a lot of cakes, a lot of sugars, and he's getting really overweight, and she's scared for his health. And so she brings her son to Gandhi and she says, "Gandhi, please tell my son to stop eating sugar because it's going to kill him." And Gandhi says, "Go back to your home and come back in 2 weeks. And then I'll talk to your son about it." So they go home, and 2 weeks later, the woman and her son make this long journey over to talk to Gandhi again. And when they get there, Gandhi looks in the boy's eyes and says, "You need to stop eating sugar." And the mom is really kind of upset because she's like, "Gandhi, why didn't you tell him that 2 weeks ago when we were here?" And the story goes that Gandhi said, "Because 2 weeks ago I was still eating sugar and sweets." And I think that goes a long way to show as leaders that we need to make sure that we are the example that we expect other people to be like. I think a lot of times we can get caught in the trap as a leader where we put expectations on our team that we don't put on ourselves. And that can be the worst thing that you can do. If you're expecting your team to do something, you need to be able to do it as well. And I'm not talking about, I think this is interesting. So when I'm talking about this, I am not talking about, hey, if you expect your team to sweep the floor, you better be sweeping the floor as well. Your team has a job, they get paid for that work, they need to be able to sweep the floor. Now, this is my other piece of it though. If everybody's busy, then you need to be able to sweep the floor. I think that's where the difference comes in. It's understanding that sometimes you're the conductor and sometimes you're playing the drums. And if you can do that as a leader and you set that type of example, your team is going to flourish because they know that while you're the leader, there are times when you're going to pitch in, and they know that while you're putting expectations on them to be whatever that expectation is, that you're living that same example. So in the comments below, how great do you think you do at being a good example for your team?